Hi, everyone. My name's Allison Held, and I'm the director of our Medical Legal Partnership, or MLP, as we call it at VCU Health. Today, we're going to share some information with you about the MLP and the services that we provide to cancer patients. As you'll hear from our next speaker, Diane Funes, the MLP provides free legal services to many different patient populations throughout the health system. But today, we're going to focus on the services provided to cancer patients through our primary legal partner at Massey CancerLink. Please keep in mind that if your legal issue does not fall within CancerLink's scope, one of our other legal partners may be able to help you. Our first speaker will be Diane Funes, the project coordinator for the MLP. Diane's going to give you an overview of the services that we provide. And then you'll hear from Barton Zed, the MLP attorney at Massey and a staff attorney for CancerLink. Barton will tell you more about CancerLink and the kinds of services it provides to cancer patients. Diane and Barton will share with you the best way to reach us if you have a legal issue that you'd like us to help you with. But we also have an office in the new outpatient, adult outpatient pavilion. So feel free to stop by the office on the 4th floor if you're on site for an appointment. And if we're available, we'll do our best to assist you then. So I'm going to turn it over to Diane.
All right, hello, my name is Diane Funes, and I'm the project coordinator of Medical Legal Partnership of Richmond at VCU Health System. Today, I'll be sharing more about our program and how to access our services. Later in the presentation, you'll have the opportunity to hear from one of our volunteer attorneys at CancerLink, Barton Zed. So first, what is Medical Legal Partnership? Medical Legal Partnership of Richmond is a program at VCU Health System in partnership with CancerLink, McGuire Woods, Central Virginia Legal Aid Society, Dominion Energy, and U of R's Law School. MLP offers free legal advice and representation to those in need through an innovative healthcare delivery model that includes lawyers and the healthcare team. Our team of volunteer lawyers addresses social issues rooted in legal problems that can often impact a patient's health, access to healthcare, and quality of life. We work to ensure on almost every civil legal issue that affects a patient's health overall, emphasizing the importance of a lawyer as part of the patient's healthcare team. As noted earlier, many social needs can impact one's health. Studies have found that there are numerous benefits when legal expertise and services are used to address social needs. These benefits include more commonly taking medication as prescribed, reporting less stress, access to greater financial resources, decrease hospitalization, admissions, and utilizations, and gaining or obtaining stable housing. While we know at the hospital we're changing lives inside the clinic walls, still circumstances outside of the clinic, such as lack of food, can profoundly affect one's health. And studies show that when legal services are used, we see these outcomes. The mission of MLP is to improve the health and well-being of our patients and community by addressing social and environmental factors rooted in legal problems. The vision of MLP is to create safer, healthier, more equitable community through access to justice. MLP works towards our mission and vision by providing assistance in these different areas of law. Barton will be discussing some of these issues in more detail. MLP's scope of service is generally broader than CancerLink, so you'll hear Barton talk about CancerLink, but keep in mind that MLP has other legal partners who may be able to handle legal issues outside of the scope of CancerLink. That being said, I'm going to tell you about what kind of cases we handle. First, we'll start off with estate planning, which this is a service that is most often requested by cancer patients. It is really important that everyone, not just cancer patients, have an advanced medical directive and a power of attorney. If you don't have these documents in place, please ask your provider or social worker to refer you to us. Estate planning includes advanced medical directives, power of attorney, and wills. Barton and other CancerLink attorneys can help execute these bedside for patients if needed. Regarding employment, we tend to see in some cancer patients that once someone is diagnosed or going through a treatment plan, we like to be able to advise our patients early in the diagnosis so that they can prepare for their employers. We also handle cases of employment discrimination, workers' comp, and Family and Medical Leave Act. I'm going to skip over to public benefits. In terms of public benefits, We assist with appeals only of denials of SSDI, SSI, Medicaid, and SNAP benefits. Consumer law can include bankruptcy, collections, creditor harassment, garnishment, and financial planning. Assistance with housing law can most commonly includes evictions, housing conditions and repairs, and housing discrimination. Family law includes minor and adult guardianship, custody, visitation, uncontested divorce, domestic abuse, and protective orders. Lastly, education law and immigration law. These are two areas in which CancerLink doesn't provide services, but other MLP partners can help assist in these areas. In terms of education law, we don't see these as much at Massey, but we can request special accommodations, assist with individualized education program, eligibility and enforcement, bullying, truancy, and discipline. Lastly, we assist with immigration law on a case-by-case basis, only when the patient is having difficulty accessing healthcare. As Allison mentioned, this presentation is tailored to cancer patients, but we want you to know that MLP provides legal services to many other patient populations throughout the health system, as you see listed here. The MLP program offers free legal advice and representation to 7 patient populations, eight patient populations, sorry. Children and families treated at the Children's Hospital at Richmond at VCU Children's Pavilion, Brook Road campus, and the Virginia Treatment Center for Children. Cancer patients treated at Massey Cancer Center. Patients living with 5 or more chronic health conditions treated in the Complex Care Clinic. Patients living with sickle cell disease treated at our sickle cell program. Patients living with HIV treated by us and participating in the Ryan White HIV/AIDS program, and children and families receiving primary care at the Hazy Willis Center. Additionally, in collaboration with the Richmond Health and Wellness Program, RHWP, MLP provides free on-site legal services in the Richmond community at 2 locations, VCU's Health Hub at 25th and Dominion Place Apartments. The best way to access MLP services is to talk to your VCU health provider, nurse, or social worker. They'll refer you to MLP if you meet the criteria. Once the referral is made, a team member will contact you. If you have additional questions, feel free to either call or email the contact information on your slide. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Barton Zed with CancerLink.
Our mission is to ease the burden of cancer for patients and their families by providing assistance, education, and referrals to legal, financial, and community resources. Our founders are Professors Ann Hodges and Phyllis Katz from University of Richmond Law School. Both of them had cancer in the 90s, and in dealing with their treatment and managing their insurance claims, navigating their sick time off from work, all proved very challenging while sick. And they couldn't help but wonder, what do people do if they aren't lawyers? So they had the foresight to create Link, now called CancerLink, to help patients navigate these problems. A word on eligibility. We service the greater Richmond area that includes Petersburg, Hopewell, Colonial Heights, etc., including patients at Massey. Any cancer patient can get help from CancerLink. If the client meets our income guidelines, that help is free. Here's an overview of the types of issues that we work on: bankruptcy, debtors' rights, financial planning, employment issues, estate planning, uncontested guardianship and elder law, landlord-tenant issues and eviction, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security disability and income, private insurance, for-fee referrals, and connections to community resources. Here's some topics that are not within our scope of services. We don't handle criminal matters, divorces, other family matters, including contested guardianship or conservatorship, immigration law, personal injury law, medical malpractice law, or general contract law. But as Allison and Diane both mentioned, though our scope of services is somewhat limited, they have other legal partners that they refer cases to. So if it turns out that you need help with a legal issue that we don't handle, they may be able to help you with some of their other legal partners. I wanted to provide a few examples of the types of issues that our cancer patients face. I'm often asked, well, what's unique legal issues the cancer patients face. And I always say the same as everyone else, except they're dealing with cancer, which makes everything a little more urgent and a little bit more in need of close assistance. So, for example, employment problems. We had in a situation where an employer fires a cancer patient because the person needs time to go off treatment, or they've missed work because of surgery, or they have declining performance due to chemotherapy. Often employers do not meet their obligations under the Americans with Disability Act or other federal and state laws. So, for example, we had a client named Marie. She was a single mother of 2. She was the sole breadwinner of her family. She was diagnosed with breast cancer. She requested a transfer to a smaller work facility 20 minutes away from her home. She spoke with HR and she learned that she met all the requirements for a transfer, but a transfer was not offered to her. We spoke with her employer, sent a letter, and that same day got a call from her superintendent with an offer for a transfer. The thing to understand is that employment problems are legal problems, but they're also, of course, financial problems. Loss of employment means loss of income as well as loss of insurance coverage. This creates a dangerous circle of illness, unemployment, poverty, lost insurance coverage, increasing bills, loss of self-esteem, potential housing instability. Altogether, it has a serious impact on a patient's ability to get well. We encounter a lot of housing problems. So, for example, a patient requires accommodations such as wheelchair accessibility or a space for a caregiver to stay. Patient's condition is often exacerbated by conditions in their apartment, such as the presence of mold or other issues, or a patient is being evicted or foreclosed. We had a client recently who was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Cancer took a physical and financial toll on him and his family. He worked as a commercial gas technician, but after cancer returned, the patient applied for retirement disability and had to wait a year for benefits to begin. We were able to help this client file Chapter 3 bankruptcy, which allowed him to save his home, which was going into foreclosure a month before he contacted CancerLink. Housing problems are, of course, legal problems and financial problems. Housing instability is inevitably accompanied by other financial problems, including loss of employment. It's the same dangerous circle, and it has a serious impact on a patient's ability to get well. Denial of claims problems are frequent. Private insurance refuses to cover the cost of treatment. Social Security disability has been denied, or a Medicaid application has been denied. Even when patients are approved for disability payments, there's a 6-month window before they can get a check, which often turns out not to be practical. They certainly run the risk of being evicted or foreclosed from their home. Our client, Jim, needed help with several legal issues in preparation for an upcoming surgery to remove cancer from his left leg. Jim worked a physically demanding job and needed a special type of prosthetic to return to work, which would cost over $30,000 out of pocket, but his insurance company denied this. We referred to the Virginia Bureau of Insurance to advise him and prepare for his appeal and negotiations with his employer. Thankfully, Jim completed his appeal and successfully got his insurance plan to cover 100% of the cost of the prosthetic that he needed. Insurance coverage problems are legal problems and financial problems. The failure to obtain coverage for medical treatment means cancer patients immediately face daunting bills. They are forced to choose between living expenses and living. Again, it's a dangerous circle. It has a serious impact on a patient's ability to get well. End-of-life planning problems are also very important and an area that we focus on quite a bit. Patients often have no advance medical directive, no power of attorney, and no will. So, for example, despite being married for 18 years, neither Jen nor her husband, James, had a will. In March, James was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. The company decided to call CancerLink so they could plan for their future in light of the diagnosis. Patients without a power of attorney may encounter various legal difficulties. Without a designated agent to handle their financial affairs, often their bills can't get paid, which has lots of downstream effects, obviously. The lack of a will has little impact on the patient, but it can leave devastating effects on loved ones left behind. We encourage all patients, all clients, to have these documents. We're also able to refer clients for different types of financial planning support to volunteers that work with us. We provide financial counseling and planning, credit counseling, debt consolidation, and management of legal debt. As mentioned by Allison and Diane, the best way to access ML services is for you to talk to your VCU health provider, nurse, or social worker. They will refer you to the MLP if you meet the criteria. Once the referral is made, a team member will contact you. Often, the referral will be made to CancerLink. If you should ever need to reach CancerLink directly, here is the contact information for our client services email account. Also, my personal contact information is here, my phone number and my extension. And I hope that you will find our services to be very helpful. Thank you.